Hey, BookTube. Happy Friday, and welcome to the History Shelf. I thought I'd make a Friday Reads video. I haven't made one in forever. Um, and other just bookish ramblings. I just wanted to catch up with you guys, just kind of let you know some of the things I've been enjoying as a way to decompress, I think, from just, I was really overloaded with. I kind of set the bar really high for how many things I could read and review in a month, and it almost broke me. But I did it, and I've got a little bit of breathing room. So the last few days have just been really great as far as I have room to move and function. And I wanted to show you books I'm reading. Um, and mostly I just want to kind of talk about some of the periodicals and magazines I've been dipping back into now that I have some free time for, you know, the stuff that it's kind of like my nerdy little jam that I really enjoy. Um, so let's start with maybe I'll save the books for last because I have been dipping into just magazine stuff. I finished this last night. This was the May-June issue. I just recently subscribed again to both Ellery Queen Mystery Magazine and Alfred Hitchcock Mystery Magazine, and they've switched to a new double issue format. So they used to send them out. It used to be a monthly publication, and it'd be a skinnier book, but you can see now they're pretty meaty. This one this goes to about 192 pages. So it's a double issue now, so May-June issue. And I really enjoyed this. I would just kind of settle down at night and be like, I'm going to read a short story. And, I've kind of fallen out of the habit of reading short stories. Back when I was younger, I used to love them, and then I just moved away from that for some reason. And, they're mystery, they're kind of like detective stuff, and just a couple of them were like historical fiction items. There wasn't a loser in the bunch. I enjoyed just about every single one in here. I don't think I hated anything. So I was really impressed. And I've already gotten the July August issues of both of them. So I finished this one. Whoops. So the next, I just started the Alfred Hitchcock's May June issue last night. So you can see a nice big meaty issue. So I'm excited. I'm just going to keep reading and enjoying, and then I'll move into the July-August issues, which arrived. And these are keepers. These are things you can just kind of easily save away, and just really good writing, just really good short story writing. So it's kind of getting me back into the genre a little bit. So I've been enjoying these little magazines as a way to decompress and just, have fun. And then I recently picked this up at Barnes and Noble, and I'm thinking of subscribing. This is Strategy and Tactics, and I started reading into the Vicksburg campaign. I really like the map work, and the writing is strong, but I really love the maps. These are very, very clear, detailed. The topography is just excellent. It's fantastic. So, I'm not learning anything too new because I'm a Civil War buff, and I have read about these battles all my life. And of course, I've studied Vicksburg in detail, but it never hurts. You have to keep refreshing your memory on these items, and I just love these stories. But I mean, they happened. It's history, and it's true history, and I just love it. So this is a really good magazine thus far. The next article will be on the once I finish the Vicksburg one. We've got Sea Dragon Ascendant, the foundation of the Chinese quest for naval supremacy in the Pacific and Indian Oceans. So that looks wonderful. I've been dipping back in to all these magazines I've gotten so behind on. Not that one in particular because it's brand new, but just last night I'm like, I am so behind on my ancient warfare, medieval warfare, and ancient history magazines that are put out by a publisher in the Netherlands. I have subscribed to them for years and years. I have the binders that are beautiful. I mean, these are keepsakes because the artwork is tremendous. I've shown them on this channel before, but I'm recommitting to catching up. I've got a lot to catch up on. This is an older issue, but this one is talking about the Thracians in the 4th century. The centerpiece is always some massive piece of like original artwork, and I just love it. I'm just a sucker for this stuff. It's just replete with, you know, artwork, mosaics, pictures of antiquities, relics, more artwork. A late Roman infantryman. So I've been dipping back into these and just loving it. Since this is a mishmash of Friday reads and just catching up and what I'm doing, history-wise, it's just been a very rich experience lately using multimedia and different things we're doing here at the Casa. Martine just got me into a new series. Well, it's not a new series. It's been around forever, but I just started watching it on, I forget which channel. I think it was on Prime, or you need a membership to something. I'll find out for you if you're interested. But it's Monarchy by David Starkey. I'm sure many of you have seen it, the series. We started watching the second episode, and the first one was on lockdown. I think we have to get some type of like subscription, a free trial to something called Xive, Xive. Anyway, so we were watching about like 1066. It was talking about William the Conqueror, and I'm like, you know what? I miss my medieval warfare magazine. So that it brought me back. And last night I was going through, where I left off in my stack, and I am behind, but I am going to make a strong push to catch up. And this one was on Sverre Sigurdsson and his saga from priest to king. But these are great magazines. They're not cheap, but you get quality for the price that you pay. And of course, then they have they created this magazine about 3 years ago, I think. It's ancient history. So this covers everything in ancient history. So it's not just about warfare. And this is where, we're already up to, I think, issue 33, and I'm on number 22. So I'm a little bit behind, but this one's on the Etruscans, which I've always been fascinated by the Etruscans. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Wow, okay. Wow. Well, they're showing it how it was. Now, I'm sorry, I didn't know that there would be nudity up in this place, but here we go. What is happening in this this issue? Whoa. Oh, this is fantastic. I'm sorry. Why am I acting so weird? The centerfold here that we just looked at was the artist's impression of the scene from the Francois tomb at Volchi. The captured Vipenus or Vibena brothers are liberated by Larth Ulfis and proceed to kill their captors. The owners of the tomb claimed their ancestors were among the ancient heroes depicted here, and who were perhaps buried in the tomb. You get a little bit of everything. You get a little spice of life up in this place. What? Anyway, so that's ancient history. So good stuff. So we've been watching Monarchy, and it was so weird how you get this synchronicity of things, or serendipity, I should say. Is that I was going to my chiropractor appointment on yesterday, and I was listening to that podcast. I normally just listen to it when I'm driving and I'm going to appointments or picking up groceries. The Rest is History, which has Tom Holland and Dominic Sandbrook. I've linked to that in another video where if you ever want to check out that podcast, I highly recommend it. But, they have a backlog. They got about 71 podcasts so far, and I was scrolling through and I found 1066. So I was listening to that yesterday, and then we started watching Monarchy with David Starkey, and they mentioned a lot of the same things that I heard in the podcast, and Martine and I were just having a really wonderful just back and forth discussion. So that was fun. It's fun to get, your historical inputs from different, mediums now and then. Media. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, check out Monarchy. Highly recommend. Oh, and the other thing that made so we're watching it, and I'm like, you know what, I want to start binging because I fell off in like the 5th season, but I want to start from the beginning and see it all the way through to the end. I want to watch Vikings. Vikings, the one that was on the History Channel for a while, with that awesome opening. Oh, it was a great series, but I started falling away once it moved into the Norman territory and Rollo became the king, or I don't think he became the king just yet. See, that's where I left off. It was after the Paris attack, and then things Ragnar was pissing me off, and I need to get back in. Any fans of Vikings out there, let me know what you think. I'm going to start from the beginning again, and we're just going to have fun binging it because we run out of things to watch. We recently finished 000 on Amazon Prime. Very well done, very violent take, very, in a sense, very derivative. It took everything from Godfather. It covered, there were elements of Godfather in it. There was elements of Shakespearean tragedy. There was, in certain scenes, I'm like, they just kind of ripped off this other movie. But the scenery was stellar. They shot it on location in Italy, Mexico, Morocco, Casablanca. They spent money on this production. Don't think they have any money to make a second season. But anyway, we finished it, and I'm like, I really just want a good historical show. And, Vikings is equally violent in the battle scenes for sure. But yeah, all these things have just kind of come together to make me think about shows I want to revisit, new shows I've discovered like Monarchy with David Starkey, and we're gonna just run through that series, as many as we can access. So yeah, I've gotten got bitten by the periodical magazine bug. I'm kind of just doing that right now to recharge mentally. I've got a couple of reviews coming up at the end of the month, and then I'll kind of kick into high gear again with some other stuff. And then hoping, I don't know, I might get assigned something soon in the next couple weeks. So we'll see. Oh, but so book-wise, I am having a great time reading this. This is also a very nice way to recharge my mental capacity here. I'm reading a buddy read with Bill Rutenberg at the Rutenberg Library. I will link his channel below. We are reading Thaddeus Stevens, Civil War Fighter for Racial Justice by Bruce Levine. We're going to finish this by the end of the month. Right now we're kind of doing 2 chapters at a time, and I need to do my check-in with him today. Kind of finished the introduction in chapter 1. I've already moved into chapter 2. Already learning some stuff about Thaddeus Stevens. That, he definitely was, he was not, they're saying he was, when it came to his faith and his pursuit of racial justice, he was always part of his church, but a lot of his close friends said he was always religiously a skeptic. But he knew his scriptures inside and out, but, whether he was a true believer or not, a lot of his friends said no. He was a man of reason and logic, and but see, to me, that's another thing I get stuck on. You can have faith, but also have reason and logic. Some of the greatest thinkers were, Christian apologists and theologians that used logic and reason. Anyway, that's another topic entirely. And he was also very pro-capitalism. Woo! All right, Thad. He believed in the power of economic development. I'm probably getting ahead of myself. Sorry, Bill. These are thoughts I need to share with you. But and we'll have a book chat. We're gonna have a book chat on Zoom at the end of this book. So please join us for that. Towards probably the first week of August. We'll probably have that up, maybe sooner, depending on how fast we read the book. But we'll talk about that. I'm making notes as I go, so I can bring up some comments about what I'm reading and what I find surprising. So Thaddeus Stevens enjoying that. I'm also working through this book, which I promised I was going to. You guys voted for me to read and review on this channel, the Anglo-Soviet Alliance: Comrades and Allies During World War II. I apologize I haven't gotten it back to you sooner on this, but I can tell you right now, this is really going to be a lot. This was much different than what I thought this book would be about so far. I'll just give you a little hint, because I'm only reviewing it on this channel, is that I think the author is very pro. Well, he's being as even-handed as he can be, but I think he's sympathetic to. I'm not going to say communism, but I definitely think socialism. I think he's very pro-socialism, and so the book is coming from an aspect of. I think there's a word missing in the title. Now I'm only like. Am I 3 chapters in? I think 2 or 3 chapters in. So far in this book, I think there's a word missing. It should be the Anglo-Soviet Communist Alliance. And then, then now it makes sense, comrades and allies during World War II, the comrades part. But it's talking about, he's giving like a history a little bit on the Communist Party in Britain at the time, and how they reacted to the events of, the mid to late 30s, the secret pact, the non-aggression pact that Stalin and Hitler formed, and then the invasion of Poland, and then the invasion of the Soviet Union by Hitler, and the British Communist Party's reaction to that. So at first I just thought this was talking about the relationship between Britain and the Soviet Union during World War II. But this is definitely taking on a stance of communism in both countries. So it's interesting, though. It's not something, I don't align myself at all with communism or socialism, but it's a well-written history thus far. You can see where the author has his sympathies. So more remains to be said on this as I get into it. But I am reading this for you guys, and I'll be bringing this to you hopefully in the next couple weeks. What other news is going on? Again, this is just a catch-up. I know you guys might want to see more books, but I can't have every video can't be a book haul. Even though I've got more to show you. I want to show you what I'm working on and what I'm thinking about from a bookish standpoint. I guess I'll share this with you guys. I was really happy to see one of my reviews has been published in Library Journal, this new issue. Yeah, I was surprised because it was on their website. I had 2 books on Library Journal website that were, put up. So one of them actually turned up in the print because I subscribed to Library Journal, and I was just browsing in the back in the review section. I'm like, well, I know it's on the website. And under the fiction section, sure it was. Let me see if I can find it. It was a fiction book, historical fiction. That's why, I kind of indicated what my interests were so that I'm not, not trying to review something out of my my fort. Yeah, so I was kind of tickled, you guys. I just thought I'd share that with you. And of course, I need to cover up one thing down here. But anyway, they included something like where I'm working. And I was like, no, you can't have that there. But there's my name, and it's this one here for A.J. Pierce's Yours Cheerfully, which was book 2 in the Emmy Lake Chronicles, which is brand new and just out. So I was just really like, hey, there it is. There you go. So as you can see, I've been a busy bee. But other great journal stuff that I'm tapping into to just treat myself is the Journal of Military History. I am a member of the Society of Military Historians, or Society for Military History. This is a quarterly that comes out, nice big chunkster. It's beautiful. This one was in April. And I just got the July issue yesterday, and I was very tickled. But wonderful, meaty essays in the beginning, which move into extensive book reviews, which I love it. So this one I thought was extremely interesting in that um, I've lived in several places in Michigan. I hail from Michigan, just outside like Detroit in the suburban corridor there. I was born in Westland, Michigan, also known as, well, it's Garden City Hospital. I grew up for a time in Westland, moved around a little bit as a kid. But really, I think my base of operations I call Livonia, Michigan. Yay, love Livonia. Well, look at one of the articles in here was awesome. Uh, Raiding, pillaging, and violent social change in late 16th century Livonia. And that's not Livonia, Michigan, obviously. Livonia, that name came from, I think it's a part of near Lithuania. It's like that. Oh, yeah. It's like Poland/Lithuania. It was near like Russia, Sweden, Poland, the Lithuanian area. There was for a time a place known as Livonia. I think there still is over there, but it says here that the so-called Livonian War was a prolonged series of conflicts waged by the preeminent powers of the 16th century Baltic for control of the lands of the Livonian Confederation, an often fractious coalition of the local branch of the Teutonic Knights and a number of bishoprics in Hanseatic towns coinciding with the modern republics of Latvia and Estonia. So that's the location of modern day where Livonia fit in. But anyway, these are highly readable essays. Now, to get these, you have to be a member of the Society for Military History. And for a yearly membership, I pay $70. But these are quality journals. I really enjoy. I think it's important to keep up on just the academic history and the essays that are coming out, the scholarship. So I pay for it. I think it's important. Very important to see what people are writing about and, see how any conventions have changed over time. Now, the latest one is this one here. This is the July 2001 issue. 2021. You know what I'm talking about. Lead article on this one is about the Battle of Farisker and the Fifth Crusade. Causes, course, and consequences. They got another one on the early military history of the Second Indochina War and the Moyer thesis. Aha! And I know who they're talking about. Moyer. That's got to be Mark Moyer, who has written I think a revisionist history on Vietnam, which I have. And in fact, I just hauled a book by him. I'll be showing soon on this channel. What was it? Peggy. Oh my gosh. But I know, see, I can tell by just the author's last name who these people are and this is going to be interesting. Second Indochina War. Yeah, Mark Moyer. Mm-hmm. This is good stuff. Are you guys interested in this at all, or is it just me? It's like crickets. I'm just talking to you. Sometimes I just miss talking and having like a bookish chat. So I hope you don't mind. There's more I can show you. What else am I getting in the mail? There's more things, but we're coming up on 24 minutes. I guess I just wanted to talk to you about the fun things I've been reading that have just been, kind of just taking me back to my the time before I was reading and reviewing so many books. But I love these magazines, and I think today, we've got a heat wave going on in Denver for the last few days. Yesterday was like 99, 100 degrees. When I went to my chiropractor's appointment, the car temperature inside, of course, it's hotter, but 104 at one point. And today's supposed to be 99. So, but I thought I'd take a quick break out of my day just to show you what's happening, what I'm doing here at the History Shelf. Recommend the Monarchy series by David Starkey. Tell me about Vikings. Do we have fans out there? I want to hear. Do you have any recommendations? Any other like history podcast recommendations for me? I'm always looking for that stuff. I really encourage you guys to check out The Rest is History. It is a great podcast, very erudite, very chummy and colloquial. I think they even had a couple of episodes on England in the, what is it, the IFA Cup that's going on right now. England's finally made it to the soccer finals, or football finals as they call it, with Italy. So that should be an interesting match. But they were talking about that because they're Englishmen in this podcast. So, but let me know if you've checked it out and if you like it. What else? Just that, you know. Does anyone read these mystery magazines? Does anyone have any, fun stuff? What are your fun? I need to decompress. I've been reading a lot of straight up heavy, whether it's history, nonfiction. What do you read to kind of re-energize? What's your go-to? I guess that's what I want to know. I want to know what you guys do. And yeah, so I think I'm going to later on today I indulged and bought a 6-pack of Harvey Weinhard. Is it Harvey or Harry? Harvey Weinhard's root beer in the glass bottles. And they are chilling nicely in the fridge. Now, I'm not a big root beer fan, but every now and then I get I saw it in the store yesterday, and I was like, that sounds so good. I think it's this heat. Like, I just want to go outside under the parasol with a cold, frosty, sweating bottle of root beer and enjoy myself with a periodical or two. So, all right. So that's my Friday reads, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Again, it's just very chatty. Let me know if you like these types of videos. If you'd like to see more chatty, what's going on in Peg's World type of videos, I'd be happy to make them. Just trying to figure out what you guys like most. And maybe I should put up a poll. Maybe that's an idea. Let me know what you think. All right. Well, stay cool out there. Stay safe. Enjoy your weekend. I hope to make another video for you soon. I've got more things to show you. Until next time, history fans and just book lovers alike, have a great one. Bye, BookTube.